Oh, Shea Baby.
Shea Baby. Luka ain't get an MVP over Giannis yet. And to capture that greatest Maverick of all time, you got to leap over Dirk. And the old boy yesterday said, hold on, is Giannis better than Dirk Nowitzki? Stop playing with your boy. How did he disappear so fast? Week 3 got you up out of there. Flee.
Yo.
I could walk us down here. Giannis.
Walk us down where? Where you walking us to?
Eight-time All-Star. 8-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA.
I don't want to hear about accolades.
Let's dress it up nice for the people.
All right, go ahead. Let me get right. Let me get dressed. Go ahead, dress it up. Go ahead.
8-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Defensive Player, 2-time MVP, 2021 as MVP. He's top 75. He hasn't
made an All-Defensive team in the last 2 seasons. I was gonna call you last night and tell you that. And tell you he has not made an all-defensive team 1 or 2 in the last 2 seasons. That's interesting.
Dirk has never made an all-defensive team, but back to Giannis, one-time champion, rookie of the year, most improved 2016, 2017, defensive player of the year 2020, and a finals MVP. Dirk, 14-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA, Finals MVP, NBA champion, 07 MVP. He's on the top 75 as well. But who do we have here, fellas? We got to pick one.
So for me, I love this conversation because, of course, what Giannis said the other day, as far as putting his name, up there in the likes of some of the greats, the GOATs. And it had me thinking, Giannis is a power forward. He's not a center. He's a power forward. And, Giannis is definitely making a career for himself with like the numbers when he retires, his numbers is going to be out of control, right? But then there's a guy that nobody talks about a lot. He gets all the props in the world now, Dirk Nowitzki. And I had to say to myself, who's a better player? To me, they both have similar paths. Up until now, Giannis is still with Milwaukee. We know Dirk stayed with Dallas. They both have a ring. They both have a finals MVP. They both have a regular season MVP. And as much as I'm not a big I'm a more bigger fan of Giannis off the court than on the court. I'm going to be honest. Who's a better basketball player? Because as great as Dirk is offensively, Giannis is that much better than him defensively. Who's more iconic? I think this is a matchup that's. I would love to hear y'all opinion on who y'all think is a better basketball player.
I want to hear Big Flea.
Oh, my turn. It's hard. Like for me, when we had these conversations, it's almost like sacrilegious to talk about any of the greats. We always OG slick too. He's a slick dude because he puts these current guys, right? Sit back. I need to see you while I'm saying this. What he say? Put him on the screen. Put him on the screen while I'm saying this. Like he pits these guys, right, that are still playing, still have a lot left in the tank. And he puts them up against guys that like are held in such lore. They're held that you go in the room and there's a shining light over them. Like they're untouchable type people. He knows what he's doing. But I'm gonna say this: Dirk Nowitzki was one of the most skilled players we've ever seen, right? And I'm tired of saying that. Skills. I don't give a fuck about no skill no more. Who's a better ball player? Right? Am I going to need what am I going to do? They had to do a lot around Dirk. They was shifting and fixing and this and that to try to make sure they could make up for that soft mantra he had on him. He had it on him for a very long time. Big shout out to Steven.
He going there, Fabian. Let's go.
Big shout out to Steven Jackson. Big shout out to guys that played against him. Yo, this nigga not like that. He's good, but he ain't really like that. Don't chill. You good, there. But
he going there.
All right, you ain't tough. You good, but you're not tough. Giannis good and he tough. He's very, very tough. Very tough. So now it's a conversation of, do I want the skilled guy, the guy that shoots 50, 40, 90, the guy that you can't leave open, the guy that's a matchup nightmare? Or do I want the guy that is going to play the hardest every night, is going to defend Dirk Nowitzki and whoever else you throw in front of him, could score the ball just as well? Score the ball. Numbers is numbers. If you got 30 and I got 30, but you took 30, if you got it from 30 jump shots and I got it from just getting to the rim, it's 30. It's 30. However you slice it. How many times did Giannis average 30? 1, 2, 3, 4? Go check. This is a harder conversation than OG or you try to make it out to be. Like, come on.
He averaged 30 twice. Keep going. Giannis.
Dirk probably never averaged 30 ever. Ever. He ever led the league in scoring? Let me ask you that. Because I know the answer. And everybody, you do too.
Never.
Did he?
I'm trying to wait till you finish because I ain't trying to get into no full-blown argument like a loser.
I'm talking to my brothers. I'm just talking. I don't need y'all can chime in.
Nobody said that it's a clear-cut nothing.
Y'all can chime in.
We're splitting hairs here.
These niggas are not untouchable. These NBA legends that nobody fuck them. They could be compared to whoever.
And we're doing that. We're doing that, Mel. We're doing that, Flea. We doing that in the comments. King's Speech. If Dirk Nowitzki played in this era,
he's not. He's not though. He's not.
I didn't cut you off. I let you ramble.
I don't care.
But I never cared. The legends are not untouchable.
I never cared.
Dirk is soft. We've seen Steven Jackson check him. I understand all that. How many different teams did they have around Dirk Nowitzki? He brought 2 of them to the promised land. He brought 2 of them. And if I recall correctly, Steven Jackson, when they asked him about it, he was like, nah, I ain't checked that man. There's a lot of respect behind the way he guarded Dirk. He was very careful in the way that he respected Dirk Nowitzki. So, yeah, he figured it out the second time around, but shout out to Hammer Time. Ryan, he did break down that 06 team really well. Like, they were kind of garbage. You suck his Ghana job, and your man, what's your man, Eric Dampier? Horrible. He did drag a lot of teams there. What he did to them Denver Nuggets, 30 points per game, over 50% shooting. If Dirk played today, he might average 40 easily. They don't know, like, the way he comes down court. Luka, I think Luka would have a problem on his hands. Dirk would be crazy in this era.
So what?
If somebody's averaging 35, 40 points on 50, 40, 90, who's doing that today at 7 feet tall?
But my point is he's not playing it today. He's not, and that's why I started this with this dude in the middle is slick.
No.
See, it this way.
Yes, because if Giannis played, hold on.
However you make the comparisons, it won't be fair. It won't.
If it can be, because if Giannis played in the 2000s, you up against the greatest power forwards of all time. Now you got a problem on your hands. Now you better be skilled, because they're skilled. Rashid, Tim Duncan, Tonio McDyess. We go down the list all over again. Chris Webber. You ain't pulling all that off. They might call that travel on you.
Pulling what off?
The traveling, the bullshit you be doing today.
So Giannis, is Giannis not a good player? Hold on.
He's great. He's a legend. They're both legends. They're both legends.
When we get into these conversations, whoever we like or don't like, the other player gets diminished like they ain't shit. And
no.
We gotta stop that.
No, we can't take it like no. They earned the right to be. We're not mentioning no bums with Dirk. You're not mentioning no bums with Giannis. They're the legends. We got to compete against each other at this point. Stop making it seem like these guys are dirt. No,
that's what I'm saying. So don't you talking about
legends?
Rasheed Wallace, Chris Webber, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki. You're telling me Giannis would have a problem competing against them?
I'm saying that he wouldn't. Today he's a top 5 MVP. He's top 5 MVP year in, year out, and in that era.
I'm asking you, would he have a problem competing against those guys?
I think slightly he would, Flea. I watch Rasheed Wallace. I love his content, right? Because he talks basketball, and he broke down how he would sometimes let a defender do what they want so he can see their moves. I think Giannis in that era, being guarded by guys that was defensive minded, they would easily figure him out. Now, I'm not saying Giannis would never get off, but I think, you know, those guys back then prided themselves on defense. I think their basketball IQ for defense was higher, and they looked for that challenge. I'm not saying Giannis wouldn't be great and he wouldn't get the best of guys sometimes, but I think he would have a little problem, Flea, I'm being honest, because he would be too easy to figure out. It's almost like, listen, man, if you play the right defense on him, that'll be a charge all day. He carries the ball. So I
don't know why do we reduce him to a guy that just bulldozes people over? That's just not all his game is. It's not. We know this, and it's easy to do that because that is what's highlighted. Okay, he looks out of control. He gets to the rim with ease at the rim. One of the best finishes you've ever seen. Finish just like them other guys. Everybody we named could finish like them.
I wouldn't say he finishes like them. He just recently started finishing like them.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about when you get to the basket, footwork around the basket. That was recent. Appreciate the comments. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, weekdays, every week. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.